Yeah, I could practice my aim, but I don't know. That's boring, isn't it?
But I find losing boring and frustrating.
Yeah, true.
So I feel like the 15-minute investment into aim training, as much as it is a little bit monotonous, it provides long-lasting positive
Okay, all right.
effects on your life. You know,
Maybe I'll
Same
do
with working out.
Maybe I'll do an aim trainer for 15 minutes every day before I play Valorant. I'll download Aim Labs and start putting down the high scores.
You know, I actually hold a high score in tracking.
Do you?
Yeah.
What was it? Like top 500 or something? Top 72?
Yeah.
You have the 72nd best tracking on Aim Labs.
I did. It's probably been beaten, but yeah.
What the fuck? What is this expert dolphin tweet?
Hot food. We sit down to eat, and the potato's a bit hot. So I only put a little bit on my fork and I blow till it's cool, just cool, then into the mouth. Nice. And there's my brother, he's doing the same. Till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth. Nice. There's my mum, she's doing the same. Till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth. Nice.
That is so creepy. That is so creepy. That's so creepy.
Oh, that's so funny.
I thought that was really me saying it at the beginning.
Hot food.
I thought when that said hot food, I thought that was actually me saying hot food. Jesus. Time to your word. That's brutal. All right. What is the ratio in my chat of people that think Valiant are going to win?
You run a poll. Run a poll.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. All right, there's a poll in the chat right now. Who do you think is going to win, Valiant or Fusion? Right now. Right now. Hot food. Wow, not many people think Valiant is going to win. The people in my chat earlier were like, do you think Valiant are favored over the Fusion? I thought there'd be more people who thought Valiant were going to win. I think Valiant have definitely got more than a 20% chance of winning this game.
Really?
Definitely,
really?
Yeah. More than a 20%, yeah.
I mean, Fusion looks so good.
They look pretty good, yeah.
And Valiant did not look that good against Mayhem.
Yeah, they didn't look great, but they still looked okay. I think that there's like a 35% chance for the Valiant to win this.
What's your score line for this game?
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure because I don't know what the teams are going to run. I don't know whether this is just going to come down to a straight up Sombra Reaper mirror.
I'm going 3-0.
If it's
Philly.
a Sombra Reaper mirror, I think it's 3-0 Philly. But if the Valiant can swap things up a little bit, then I think they can make this a very competitive game. Let's have a look. Statistics aren't read like that. Visor Felix, I have no idea what you're saying. You mean in terms of like their percentage chance of winning? Yeah, I know. Obviously, if I'm just asking people to predict Fusion or Valiant, then that doesn't indicate a percentage chance of victory. It just indicates a percentage chance of people thinking that they're going to win. But they're normally somewhat indicative. Did I see that Safe is leaving Bonk? Yeah.
McGravy on Sigma.
Okay. I think the Zarya gets so much more value. Wow, Rain just died immediately. Okay. Well, GG.
GG.
That is a...
That's 50% to the...
Oh my god. Hisu just TP'd
kill.
behind them as well for that kill. That's so greedy. That is so greedy from Hisu and Ivy.
Agreed. Both the DPS are dead.
They've actually just given the Valiant a chance to recontest. So greedy.
Yeah, they can get him for free. No spam coming in from the Junkrat.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Fury's just going to be outputting enormous amounts of value on that, on the Zarya. They're just going to batter Dreamer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Shadow as well. Is that a
fucking-
sneaker? Did Shadow just win himself some fucking sneakers? How many people
was
did he
that?
shatter there? Was that a 4-man?
How many did you need to shatter to win
5.
the shoes?
You need to win. You need to shatter 5 people. Oh,
really?
there's game audio. Is it too loud?
Where do I see these rewards?
I don't know. They were on the stream at some point.
Is there an article, chat?
There might be. Super already got it, but I think it was the first 3 people to hit 5-man shatters got the sneakers. It's not just the first person. It's normally the first 3 that do it.
Brain died again to spam. They don't even need to use ults to try and stagger them and stall them.
Yeah.
Oh. It's brutal.
So if the Valiant lose this, they go and face the Justice, right? Have I got the bracket correct, chat? That's how that works, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So this is actually a huge game. Then again, they will have the whole weekend to be able to prep for that match, so Valiant should be able to prep a little bit better. This is just... I don't think it's possible for McGravy to find value on the Sigma. I don't know why he stayed on it. I don't think it's feasible whatsoever.
I mean, I get the idea behind it. I think they feel like it gives them more damage mitigation from the Junkrat, and it's just... I don't know.
But you have to play so slow because you get value over time.
Yeah.
And they're just getting melted, and they're just all over the place as well.
They're dead.
They're already dead!
Oh, they're dead. God.
All right, well, that
100 to
was
0. I mean, that
absolutely
section as
dominant.
well is where I would say Valiant had the best chance.
Well, they also just lost players so early on. Like, Rain just died to the Junkrat and then died to the orb immediately.
Thank you for linking the article. I actually had no idea this was going on until yesterday.
Yeah, I had no idea either. It feels like something that would be really fun during the regular season, but it's just a bit of a distraction during the playoffs.
Yeah.
But it's probably them just trialing the idea for next year. Katniss, thank you for the
Do we know
sub.
how
Sarah
much the
Kivian
sneaker
Witch as well.
bonus
Thank you
is?
very much. No, I don't know. But it's just some sneakers, I think. Probably some really nice sneakers.
They get to... Oh.
I got some hot takes to go through at the end of this map as well. Remind me, chat. Okay, so this is the mirror. This is the mirror, and I'm interested to see how this one works out. Dreamer takes so much damage at the beginning of these team fights, and Hisu is just so much better than any other Sombra that we've seen play this comp against the Valiant.
Oh, God.
I can't believe that Valiant thought Mayhem was the best team at this Sombra Reaper. I don't know where that quote came from, but if anyone can link me that quote, chat. Someone was mentioning it in my chat earlier on that Packing 10 was saying Mayhem were the best at this comp. I don't really understand how Mayhem are apparently better in scrims. I think that's just nonsense from scrims. I mean, you should never read that deeply into scrim data like that because you have no idea how long they've been scrimming it for, whether they're playing it in a different way, whether they're trying to focus on something else that's specifically different. Funny Astro only beats him and Alarm there. EMP close for KSP. They could try and throw this in and turn it around. Definitely winnable here for the Valiant. Super winnable. Sado's got to hold on and get his primal. 98%, not doable. Oh, 99%. If Sado had popped his primal there, again, still winnable the other way around for Philly.
Wait.
He resuits?
Fury's back in
They
the
let
mech.
Fury get back in the mech?
They're contesting it.
KSP got EMP'd out of his own EMP. KSP got EMP'd out of his own EMP. Again.
This is, so, when we were casting
Holy
the Valiant Mayhem
fuck.
match, this was the recurring, at least the storyline in my head that we didn't. I don't think we hit it that often, but KSP being uncomfortable on the Sombra is a huge downside for Valiant.
It definitely is, yeah.
Like, he's had to pick up this hero at such short notice.
Yeah. He did well at the beginning of the series, and then he was getting boomed towards the latter parts of the series. Also, though, the Valiant and the Fusion and the Gladiators and the Mayhem all love trying to turn fights around. You know, like, even if they're down a player, they'll keep committing to it to try and turn the fight around. And the Valiant were winning more of those clutch scenarios, and the Mayhem were losing them. But against Philly, Philly are going to win those clutches. Most of the time, anyway. This is just chaos, though. Like, this meta is such a mess. Like, the mirror match between these two comps is so messy.
Yeah, a lot of...
It's quite a lot like Winston Goats. That's what it really reminds me of. Oh, they don't touch the point either.
God, that is brutal.
That is, yeah. That is a slappening. Wasn't Shax a Sombra player? Yeah, but he wasn't that good at it.
Fury looks bored.
Okay, hot takes. Let's go through the hot takes. Fury looks bored. He hasn't even turned up to his playoff level yet. Just my hot take. Okay, had 823. I like that Decay is winning, but I don't like that the Justice looked into this meta and got Decay due to a loophole just before the playoffs and are able to make this playoff run. Yeah, I agree. Dadis44. Outlaws find a main tank and get actual coaches, and they will be a top team next season.
Hold on. What team?
Outlaws.
Outlaws get new main tanks.
And actual coaches, and they will be a top team next season.
What is actual coaches?
I mean, people love to blame the coaches because they run weird comps, but also, here's my opinion. The coaches are fucking forced to run these weird comps because the roster has been constructed in a terrible way.
Yeah.
They've got, like, fucking Blase and Hydration just overlapping on roles. The main tank situation was just horrible for them to deal with all season long. They had no real long-range hit scan player because Linksa was either not comfortable in certain metas or is sometimes pretty streaky as well. Like, the roster itself is just not built very well, so the coaches are hamstrung in what they can actually do. So, I don't think so. I think if you kept the exact same roster and just added a main tank, they would definitely not be a top team. Definitely not. They still need to sort out their issues with the like weird DPS overlap. The roster has just been built incompetently, honestly. Linksa has been kind of consistent, though. He's been all right towards the end of the season, but he wasn't even present at the beginning of the season because they thought Blase was better in scrims. I mean, you've got one hitscan player on the team. If you're ever not fielding him on hitscan, there's a real fucking issue. So, that doesn't make sense. Oh, here's the clip. Is this before their Florida game? Wait, what the fuck?
I actually legit think that Florida might be the best team at that comp. The fucking Reaper Sombra comp, dude, they
He's listening to the Druzy slide.
Packing is saying after they beat them at the mirror that he thinks Florida's the best team in the league at that comp.
Dude, they're the ones who came up with it this week, or whatever, last week or this week. And we weren't even playing it. We started playing it a couple days ago.
I don't think that makes any sense. I mean, for starters, the Reaper Sombra stuff has been played in Korean contenders anyway, right? So it's not like they invented the composition. They're just trying other things that have been played other way around the scene. I mean, not the exact same composition, but pretty similar kind of stuff. I don't know, man. I don't think that makes any sense for... Okay, so from Packing 10's point of view, his team played that same composition for 1 week and beat the best team in the league at that composition. Like, isn't there already something off with that logic that it only took you 1 week to be able to beat the best team in the league at it? Like, all right, it was a close game, but you really think, like, no other team is going to be able to improve at the same rate that you improved at that comp? Maybe the comp is just good. You know, like, Mayhem were probably the best team at that composition because they just found it the earliest. But once the other teams play it, the other teams are going to be better at it. I don't really think that... I don't think that should indicate that the Valiant are favored here against the Fusion. Hello. What are you wearing?
Looks in a tank top?
No, the hen. Oh, you're dyeing your hair, right? That makes sense. I thought you were just wearing a weird plastic hat to come and say hello to me.
They like to feel the burn of the sweat interacting with chemicals.
Nice. What color? Silver.
Right now it's gonna be orange. I have to bleach it again this week.
You're imitating Bren by going for the silver hair.
Yeah, except I'm actually hopefully gonna come out silver instead of just white.
Oh yeah, that's some shade thrown onto Bren right there.
No, it's not. He looks great. He looks awesome.
Beth says you look like shit. Your hair's white. You look like an old man.
Did he tell you that the other day he was talking about you and called you Beth?
No, I was saying something about Bren and I said Beh. I was probably gonna say Ben, not Beth.
I'm just making it easier for you.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Start wearing my glasses more. I don't know.
And then I'll confuse each of you.
We've both accepted it.
Bren hasn't accepted some things. Love you. Do you think Overwatch League should keep the split for North America and APac and eventually create an EU Overwatch League? No. I don't think so. I think they would have to add so many European teams, and they already have so many North American teams. It doesn't make sense. It might be more financially feasible and sustainable, but that's not the goal that the entire league had when it began. Cute Exy tweets? Oh, what was this? GG's Washington Justice. I couldn't participate in practice for a week due to health problems, and I played suddenly on the day of the competition. Oh, damn, that's unfortunate. Nikon soon filled my vacancy well, and all the team members worked hard and did well. I'm so proud of our team and the staff for their hard work. Unfortunately, the season will end like this, but I will come back stronger. I don't want the team members to be sad, and I'm really sorry for the fans who cheered me on. Ah, cute. That is cute. Exy's had one hell of a season. A great season. And honestly, so did the whole of Paris. It was just a disappointing playoffs run. But the season itself in its totality was promising for next year.
All right. Game's begun.
All right, and they're playing the mirror comp again. Why is my quality suddenly so bad? Okay, Philly are just kind of pulling themselves back into the corner. Lastro with an enormous heal advantage is going to get his coalescence earlier on, probably. Dreamer and McGraver getting healed up. Lastro is going to have this... Lastro is probably just going to win this fight based on the coal. Hack is pretty big. The boop is useful, but how do you deal with this coal?
Just gotta play line of sight.
Yeah.
Somehow still touching the point to contest.
How are they still touching the
They're
point?
rotating so well.
They really are, and they've bought enough time for the EMP and call to come through. That is so nice from Philly. How on earth were they able to keep touching the point against that coalescence?
That's mental.
How did the Valiant not kill the people who were touching the point? They have all the heals they need to stay in the front line. They have a Reaper there and a Winston doing shit tons of damage to them. How on earth did Philly stay in that? That's wild. That's wild. Okay, barrier. Why isn't Astro barriering? Did he get killed in the previous fight? Oh, because he's waiting at the EMP, of course.
Yeah.
I missed that from KSP, of course. He's got it up. Still winnable here for the Philadelphia Fusion.
They have coalescence. There's no way Philly win this now.
Yeah. If Sato had popped his primal... Maybe?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they had one tick to get as well.
Promising for Valiant, honestly.
Not terrible, but I mean, they needed a big ult advantage to be able to take the fight, but at least they were able to convert based on that.
I was worried it was going to be very one-sided, though. So.
Philly can just come back in here with their coalescence and win a team fight just based off that, and they can save the EMP. Depending on how confident they feel. Okay, they just EMP. Wait, why aren't they using coal? Oh, they're saving the coal. That's a weird way to do that. I would have expected
why
them
they
to.
did that.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure why they did that. Maybe because they're going to try and use Alarm's Coalescence to counter the EMP. Maybe they weren't 100% sure that they were going to get up to the Lucio ult. So they want to keep the Coalescence to be able to heal everybody when the EMP comes out. Ooh, Hisu dies. Nice disengage from Philly. They're just going to taxi Hisu back in and take another engagement. And now they're going to be able to go back in and they have the barrier available. Oh, they don't quite have the barrier available. But look, there's the Coalescence to try and counter the EMP, keeping Sado alive in the front line. And Funny Astro now has the sound barrier he needs to be able to win this fight. If they want to, Funny Astro can just sound barrier here and they can just push in. The bomb is a little bit awkward, but they should still be able to find a pick. They still have to invest the EMP. Oh, wow. And now the Valiant have got up to their own sound barrier. That McGravy bomb really ruined what the Philadelphia Fusion were trying to do. See if Fury can get a good bomb off himself. Isolate some people. No, Ivy dies. Quite nice defensive play there from the Valiant. This should just be a Valiant win.
I don't know. Oh, Hisu died. Coalescence, though? Huh?
Yeah, but counter Coalescence kills Alarm during that.
Yeah.
Should be the Valiant's win.
Definitely. Both tanks are Fury hacked.
I mean, the reason the Valiant won that is because when Funny Astro used his beat to engage, they couldn't get any value out of it because McGravy used bomb to peel. And so Rain wasn't forced to use his own sound barrier, and so he could use it to counter the EMP. Just one really nicely timed self-destruct won that fight for the Valiant. Oh, counter EMP, though. On the other side, Rain with a later sound barrier. Rain's sound barriers are really good. Smart from Fury. Oh, he kills the Translocator as well.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty even ult situation as well. Bomb the only real difference from Fury. He could try and use that to peel a little bit. Coalescence is going to come up at roughly the same kind of time. I think Lastro is going to think he has an advantage, so he pushes with it. But Alarm can reply. They could use Death Blossom there. That was very nicely timed. Just as Shax had already used his cooldowns. Dreamer dies. Wraith Form just to reset the reload. That's so nice from Ivy. Great timing and use of their abilities. Rain is a lot further forward in terms of this sound barrier generation. Funny Astro's not going to have his up to reply to KSP. I like that aggression from the Philadelphia Fusion, but they're not going to have anything to counter this EMP. Maybe they just need to try and take a dry fight, because they can't sit back and wait for KSP to ult them. They have to make a play happen. So I think you might see Philly just kind of feed here. Oh, nice. Good hack from KSP. Oh, Philly are backing off. I feel like Philly should be maybe trying to die on the payload, but they're trying to get their ults up. Funny Astro. Solo EMP from KSP, and it only catches Sado, who reaction primal rages. Oh my lord. KSP, big difference in these fights. He is just not finding value. I mean, sometimes he is, but not always. That lack of consistency on the Sombra is really hurting the Valiant. Was that really a reaction primal? I'd love to see a replay of that. Did Sado reaction primal rage the EMP? Just to give him more health? Holy shit. His EMPs yesterday were pretty bad too. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, not all the EMPs are bad. It's just that some of them are. And at this kind of, when Valiant are attempting to be a top-level team, you can't have some of your EMPs be whiffs. Sado is so good. It's pretty unfortunate that Sado didn't get selected for Role Star this year, because I think he arguably deserved it. Oh. No, I don't mean the Role Stars. I mean the fucking MVP thing. I don't know who the Role Stars are. Wow, that was dominant from Fusion. What is this? Why are we being peddled Fnatic masks? I think that Fearless is a great main tank, but I think you look at some of the other main tanks that were like in the running for MVP, and Sado should be in that kind of region. Mano or Sado? I think Sado's had the better year, for sure. Yeah, I think Sado is the... Sado might be the highest rated all-round tank. No, maybe Smurf, actually. But then the problem with Smurf is always the same problem as with Super. You never have the... you never know really whether they can play the... You don't really know whether Smurf can play the Rhine at a really high level, because they often just bring in Super to be able to play it because they have a better Rhine on the bench, whereas Sado doesn't really have that level of competition, so he's had the chance to showcase all of his heroes. I think Smurf's Rhine has been good, though. We just haven't seen very much of it. Fearless's Rhine has also been good, but we haven't seen very much of it. Fearless's Orisa is his weak point, and even that has been pretty decent. Okay, Philly. Holding on with their coalescence, using it in a kind of reactive manner. They've got a better call, though. It's set them up for being healthier in this fight. And Hisu with the EMP. Hisu's EMP has got to be the game player here. The game player, the game changer. Rain, though, is right there, but it doesn't catch enough people.
I don't think it matters.
No, they've just been pushed into a corner as well. That Death Blossom just gets so much value.
Ooh, Primal committed? Question mark? Okay.
Hmm. Okay. Oh, Dreamer trying to recommit here as well. What the fuck, man? They're just going to stagger this one forwards. They're just going to roll this forwards now.
Yep.
Can they kill Rain? No, maybe not. They've just taken so much space, though. Nice. The Tesla cannon to block the hack that was coming out there onto somebody on the Fusion. Disrupt KSP. And they've got 62% of their next EMP just because they were able to stagger this fight forwards. Where is Funny Astro? Funny Astro didn't get caught. 5-man sound barrier. Yeah, another one-man EMP.
EMP.
Yeah. Fury right there with the defense matrix just when his team needs it as well. He's
bomb.
weak. The bomb is kind of in the wrong place, but
Yeah,
Valiant
it
have
was in the wrong
overextended a bit here, I think. There's no way. Like, they were forced to make that fight happen, but they tried their hardest. They just went as deep as they possibly could to see if they could get the kills, but it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
Oh, that's pretty bad. That's rough, man, actually. Ooh, yikes. They're just going to hold on to the CMP now, even though Rain's got the sound barrier. They should win the neutral fight because Sado has primal.
Yeah. Philly's tank line is playing incredibly well. Philly's tank line was also insanely good in their previous match. Both Sado and Fury were arguably the best players. I mean, the whole team's just working really well, though. Fury back on the Diva is just beautiful to behold. Especially in this kind of meta where he has so much stuff that he has to deal with. He's just so good at being everywhere at once. Look at that. Immediately punishes Dreamer as soon as the hack is onto him. Then he's there with the defense matrix to cover Ivy when he goes for the Death Blossom. He's back. He's dealing in the backlines, punishing Shax. Fury's just so fucking good. He's literally everywhere. His awareness of what he needs to be doing in the fights is like nobody else's when it comes to the Diva. He's outrageous. You can pick any team fight, and he's doing everything. Everything.
There's Rain hiding.
Yeah. Perfect space to go for an EMP. Nice hack.
Oh,
Great hack. And the EMP so that he can't come through. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. GG, man. Oh my god. I'm telling you, Fusion are just...
They're on another level, man.
When we were watching them the other day, they look so clean.
They really do. This is why I said that if the Valiant don't go for some kind of long-range hit scan thing, I don't think they can make this game close. But I was kind of expecting them not to even bother playing the mirror in this match. I thought they would end up trying to play KSP on Ashe and Shax on Tracer and stuff like that. But I think they need to make some serious adjustment at the halftime. They can't beat Fusion in the mirror. There's no way. They've just got worse players at every position. Apart from arguably, you could say Shax, I suppose. But every other position, they're just getting outplayed.
Trouble is with Fusion looking this good is that the fans are going to be just that much more insufferable.
Well, maybe. But then if the Philadelphia Fusion fans are incredibly insufferable, Philly will probably lose at some point, right? Like Philly have previously, they've never made it to win a title before, so you'll get that Schadenfreude perhaps at some point.
But yeah, I mean, I do want to see Philly win a title, but
I would love to see Philly win this season. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen.
Such a good storyline, actually, after failing to do it in the 3 tournaments that we've had.
Yep, they would be the first, second.
Oh.
They would be the first people to go to a grand finals twice as well. I think that would be nuts. But I also think that some kind of Fusion Shanghai finals, like the problem is Shanghai are almost like an upgraded version of the Fusion when it comes to these comps.
Oh,
you know,
don't say that.
Fearless is even better on the Winston.
Don't make it like season 1 again.
Fearless is even better on the Winston. Lip is even better on the Sombra.
That's how season 1 finals felt.
Yeah, it did actually. I think that could definitely happen again. There could definitely be some kind of season 1 echoes with the Philadelphia Fusion. No matter how hard I try, I can't see past Shanghai. Is that a fucking, is that a Doctor Strange reference? Danning, thanks for the Twitch Prime. Wrecking Ball as well, thank you for the 4 months. And 21 months from Eccentric
Joy knowing
Mudkip.
that all of these little segments that Puckett had to record were most likely recorded one after the other.
Oh yeah, all in the same day, just one after the other.
He sat there doing, yes, it's Li Jiang Tower. And then he's like, all right, next take.
Yeah, I like it though. It's funny. Oh yeah, I must say as well, when I say that Shanghai are the favorites, I haven't watched the last 4 APac matches. So I'm saying that based on their regular season performance and what I expect from them, but I also haven't seen the most recent matches themselves. So it's very possible that Shanghai are looking super beatable right now. I haven't had a chance to be able to watch them. Watch NYXL versus Shanghai. It's so good. Yeah, I'm going to be watching them today and tomorrow. I'm going to catch up on APac before Plat Chat. They still looked really good. They're not beatable. They're not. Okay. Shanghai and NYXL both look fantastic. Shanghai have looked in their absolute top form right now. I mean, they should be. It's the perfect meta for them. Have I not watched the Chengdu NYXL game? No, I haven't. I watched Chengdu London, and I watched pieces of Seoul beating Spark. I didn't watch the full thing, but I'm going to catch up on APac today and tomorrow before Plat Chat. The playoffs Gesture and Profit has arrived. Wasn't Gesture playing Roadhog? That's pretty pog to watch. If Philly win the Grand Finals, Fury will be the best off-tank of all time. He'll be top 3 on every off-tank hero. He'll have previous success before Owl, and then he'll have 2 chips. Unarguably the best. Yeah, I mean, who would even compete with him? It would be Choyobin is the only other person that would compete with him. Choyobin, actually, I mean, when you talk about success before the Overwatch League, Fury really didn't have that much success before the Overwatch League.
Yeah, he was scouted pretty early.
Yeah, so actually Choyobin had more success pre-Owl than Fury did. So I think the only other person that you could argue is Choyobin. You know, Choyobin made... Yeah, I mean, if Philly win the Grand Finals, then it's very hard to argue against Fury, but I still think that you've got to put Choyobin in that conversation. And if Void does really well, then Void has even better pre-Owl success. He had very consistent, you know, like top 5, top 7 performances towards the end of 2018 and 2019. And then he has been, in my opinion, the best off-tank this year. So if Shanghai win, he's another person you have to add into the conversation as being one of the all-time greats on that role. Fury was mostly playing DPS pre-Owl. Yeah, he played triple DPS for Liquid. He was playing like Soldier and shit. And some Sombra as well, if I remember correctly. Fury's just so talented. Like, the guy could be an Owl-level DPS player. Am I going crazy here? Is the timer just stuck at 0 for everybody else?
Sorry, what? Say again?
Is the timer just stuck at 0 for you guys?
Yep, still stuck at 0 for me.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing the match.
It's the halftime. So.
Did I miss a hot take? Oh, I did, yeah. Not learning, but earning. Decay should be MVP. Of course, everyone defines MVP differently, but I would define it as the player that has the most impact in a team. Since Decay basically carried 5 scrubs to many victories the whole season, he should be titled the most valuable player. The thing is, I like that hot take, except MVP, the award is for the regular season. There is a totally separate award for the playoffs. So while Decay could win playoffs MVP, there isn't really an overall, you know, like full season including playoffs MVP award. And there are better candidates for regular season MVP than Decay. If you combine them both together, then yeah, you could make a very strong argument for Decay. But just regular season, I don't think the argument is really there in the same kind of level. Because at the end of the day, like, he was incredible, but... And this isn't his fault, but... Well, actually, part of it is his fault. But, I mean, he didn't find the success with Dallas. I mean, part of it, if you believe the reports coming out from Dallas, is literally his fault for just refusing to play with them. What is this Matt Marcel tweet? Oh, Frankie is back. I'm sorry, but this is a Sombra diff in the first half, says Matt Marcel. Let's take a look at the stats, people.
You don't need to see the stats to know that, though.
No, you absolutely don't. But I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
twice as many enemies hacked per 10 minutes, but I don't even think that's mostly to do with the individual hacks. I think that's mostly due to EMP efficiency.
Yes.
Yeah, because look at the difference in enemies EMP'd per 10 minutes. It's double. It's hero damage as well, though. He is pounding. Hisu's just playing in the front lines and ripping out those, the damage. Yeah, Hisu is dominating right now. An EMP every 59 seconds. On average. That includes the time... Oh, no, that doesn't include the time he holds them for. That's just the time he earns them. That's wild. All the best Sombras just frontline now. I don't know why more aren't moving towards that. Yep, totally agree. In fact, it's been that way since the end of 2019 when Edison was playing in Korean Contenders and frontlining on Sombra. The end of 2019 was the beginning of Frontline Sombras, pioneered by people like Edison and Korean Contenders. And guess what? Some Overwatch League players are still catching up now. And it's not just the Sombra players. Your team has to let you frontline. They have to give you the resources to frontline. Because otherwise you're just going to feed if they still give all the resources to the main tank or whatever. Or rather, not the resources to the main tank. Normally you're competing for resources with the Reaper, to be honest. Like Mayhem, for example, when they were running Yaki on the Reaper, put all of their resources in keeping Yaki alive at the front lines on Reaper. And Valiant do the same thing with Shax. They try and put Shax as far forward as possible. But that's not really how you should play. You should put the resources into your Sombra so that they can farm EMP really quickly. And then the Reaper is just going to be able to stay alive anyway. They're more self-sufficient. Edison was fantastic in Contenders, yeah. I mean, he got hard-pocketed, but he was really fantastic. It was just a new style of Sombra. It was really smart. Hopefully we see Hisu versus Lip on the Sombra. Yep, that's what I'm hoping for. In my ideal world, I want to see Fusion counter the Justice, but I don't know how that would happen, because they're unlikely to meet each other in the bracket. Fusion would have to lose a game and maybe face them in the lower bracket finals or something. Anyway, I would love to see Fusion counter the Washington Justice and then Fusion play against Shanghai. Those are the two matchups I'm most excited for in the playoffs. And one of them probably isn't even going to happen. I would pick Decay over Carpe any day in the MVP conversation. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Carpe is in the MVP conversation anymore. I think he was at the first half of the season. He was leading the MVP conversation, but he wasn't towards the end. How big is the difference between Lip and Hisu? I still think Lip is better. I think Lip's coordination with the rest of his team is phenomenal. And I think Lip's ability to find solo hack targets that can win his team the fight is the best in the world. But Hisu is also right up there at that same kind of level. I wouldn't be able to say for sure that Shanghai would win based on a Sombra difference. I just think throughout this season, Lip has been a little bit better. And the follow-up from the rest of Shanghai has been a bit better as well. What is this? We've turned the Philly power up a notch this weekend. Let's try for another 3-0. Please shit on them. Why has OG tweeted, please shit on the Valiant? Because they're LA rivals?
Presumably, yeah.
They didn't get knocked down by the Valiant, though. It's this beef with Pack in 10 has gone, it's gone and infected the players now as well. That's amazing. That's hilarious. Shanghai would win based on a Fleta difference? Maybe. But that's probably, the Fleta difference is not because Fleta is a better mechanical player than Carpe or Ivy. The Fleta difference is because his timing and coordination with the rest of the team is just god tier. Valiant's still gone farther in the playoffs? Yeah, definitely. I mean, just in a literal sense, they have. Dead Giftswerg, thanks for the 7 months. And Dead Stinky, thanks for the 5 months as well. Could Seoul do a Season 1 London? I haven't watched enough games of Seoul to be able to tell you for sure, but yeah, I think it's possible. Seoul and Justice are the dark horses in the playoffs. Do you agree? I don't know whether you can really call them dark horses now when they've already showed that they're capable of beating good teams, but yeah, I mean, I actually thought that the Soul Dynasty would be a dark horse. I just didn't think the Justice would be a dark horse. We didn't know exactly what the meta was going to be. But yeah, clearly Justice and Dynasty are very dangerous. They're the bracket breakers. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Does anyone have a perfect bracket?
No. Could you explain how this comp of Monkey Diva Reaper Sombra works? Like, what's the game plan for it? Yeah, your game plan is that you're trying to bully the enemy's front line, basically. Like, it's not a dive comp, even though you've got a Winston and that kind of shit. Like, you're trying to push your Reaper as far forwards and see if you can punish their main tanks for, like, overextending a little bit. You're trying to take as much space as you possibly can.
Uncle Egg.
And you're trying to play slow until you have ultimates up most of the time as well. Try and find individual hack targets to be able to burst somebody down. If you get the hack on the Diva, you can try and pressure either the Diva or somebody she's defending, like the Winston. Why Winston, not Rhine? Because you need to be much more mobile than that. The Reinhardt's shield just gets melted too quickly, whereas the Winston can play line of sight and can play a bit more safe around corners and stuff. But then when you want to engage, the Winston is just like straight in there.
What? Oh my god, this person's got a very accurate bracket.
Really? Someone's got a good bracket?
Oh my god!
Where?
I'll link it. Link it in Discord.
Up 2 maps to 0, and the Valiant things are looking grim here, Jake, because if they can't turn the series around, while they're not going to be eliminated from the playoffs, they do have to go up against an incredibly scary Washington Justice.
It's not 100k, but
Very good work spamming the Discord call, by the way, Bren. I appreciate that. Fucking hell, high chance of that going wrong. All right, what is this? Houston. Okay, so the bracket has been broken. But is this the leader in terms of points at the moment?
yes, this is the leader of points.
Right, so the Boston Uprising beating the Houston Outlaws was the only real thing that they got wrong up until this. Yeah, wow, this is so accurate.
Yeah. Very accurate, isn't it?
I mean, what even happens with these lower bracket games? Like, they've just got the wrong teams in the lower bracket. Wait, no, what? I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah.
What is this Heese thing? Where did Heese come from? What is this Heese meme?
Maybe the video was wrong.
Oh. The Fusion look bored? Yeah, they're waiting to tackle some good teams. Alright, are they going to change to something long-range hit scan here? I really think they should. I really think the Valiant should try playing... At least on defense, I think the Valiant should try playing KSP on Ashe and Lestro on Zen. And Rain on Mercy. They've just showcased an inability to be able to beat Fusion at the mirror. Release the Heese. Release the Heese. Oh, they spelled his name wrong on broadcast once? Right. I never saw that.
And what the hell can a Valiant even change?
Can you mute the owl audio? No, because then I can't hear things. You just got to deal with it.
Oh, man.
You just got to deal with it.
You literally just need KSP to really step up, I think, to be comparable in a lot of these team fights.
I mean, they're just getting outplayed in a multitude of different ways, though, as well.
It's not only KSP, but I'm thinking of the one aspect that they could, in theory, improve from one game to the next is like KSP having a better game.
Yeah, for sure.
That could mean that they are... they have some chance of winning.
Hack on McGravy instantly, demec'd. Dreamer's now going to die.
McGregor was getting caught out a lot in the Florida match.
Yeah, he was. I mean, the tank line in general, right? Dreamer always takes a shit ton of damage at the beginning of these fights as well, which charges up Lastro's ult really quickly, but it just means you're always on the back foot. Like, you're always having to react then because you have the health disadvantage. You're trading ult charge for territory. If I'm 15 seconds behind, you just need to pause the owl broadcast for 15 seconds. It is very simple. Oh, the 5-man EMP. Oh, Lastro actually stays alive, though, here.
He's had to get out of there, though.
Yeah.
He's not building his ult up at all.
Yeah, and Sado's...
Sado feeds.
Yeah, they've overextended because they wanted to try and capitalize on that. Big mistake from Philadelphia.
I don't know if they needed the EMP.
Hmm.
It's not like you're playing against Decay and Aim God's up with a bloody nano. Like,
yeah, there's no clutch potential once you've lost a player.
Yeah. Why commit the EMP there? Oh, well. I mean, but it's small mistakes like that that cost you a series.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your favorite number in the alphabet? I would have to go with L.
It's not a number.
Yeah, this is a 1.
Hmm.
Funny Astro responding with a better sound barrier. Should be able to keep this alive.
Oh, I thought it was going to die while it was death blossoming.
Yeah, that's a good punish, actually. McGravy just diving really deep on Ivy after the
no one killing
Red form was used. They all had to hide. They were EMP'd, I think. Wow, Hisu, again, kind of clutching that team fight as well. It was looking like it was going to go badly, but the EMP was a game changer. Just building it faster than KSP again. It's making such an enormous difference. L is 50. Oh, yeah, true. True. Roman numerals. L is 50.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not from Rome, so I don't know that.
Okay, they can't keep Sado alive, but at the same time, that Coalescence from Alarm has done a lot of work, and they've still got a barrier here. I just don't see how the Valiant win. They got a single kill out of their
So hard
EMP.
to win
Block the
this.
point, block the point. Don't even give them a tick. Oh, wait, that Death Blossom is actually huge.
Alarm going down.
EMP, though, available here again for
Building the ult.
Hisu. Oh, they have given them a tick, but that's all
EMP
they'll
should-
get.
Honestly?
Yeah. The Valiant just aren't getting enough value out of their EMPs. That EMP didn't even have like a counter ult. Well, I suppose it did have some level of counter ult because Alarm had his Coalescence, but just the positioning from the Fusion is so good when they know they're at an EMP disadvantage.
Sorry. It's a compulsory part of UK school curriculum and has been for 30 years. Yeah, maybe in the fucking upper middle class schools that you went to. Sorry, who's learning Roman numerals at school?
Yeah, no,
You posh twat.
I have never learned Roman numerals at school. I mean, I learned it just because it's a general part of history, I suppose, but no one's specifically teaching you Roman numerals.
I apologize.
I did when I took Latin. I mean, that is, you know, you're part of the 1% when you learn Latin at school.
Okay. Oh, my brain's close to turning off.
Oh, yeah, I've just been concentrating on the people in chat who are part of the rich elite oligarchy, and I haven't paid any attention to how the Valiant won that.
My brain switched off. It's also the heat is getting to me, even though the air conditioning's on.
Could still be stallable. They have double support ultimate. No, they're both going to die. It's done. Well, how did the Valiant win that? I mean, I literally have no idea because I was thinking about Latin lessons. Go on, chat.
Latin?
This is where we rely on the chat. How did you guys? Why is it in subscriber only mode? Latin has been a compulsory part of UK education for 40 years. That's absolutely untrue. I mean, that is
Also,
literally not true.
Let's put it in rich only. Oh, it's in rich people only mode.
Ah, rich people only mode. That's true. Put it in sub-only mode for the rich elites.
Never taught any Roman numerals.
You must have been taught 1 to 10. Like,
I knew them through media.
yeah, and through clocks. Clocks use a lot of Roman numerals.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, I wasn't directly taught it.
Yeah, no one sits you down in a class and teaches you Roman numerals, I think. At least not that I can remember. Maybe when I was very young. I remember learning how to do a tally.
A tally?
Yeah, you know where you do the lines and then the strike through? I remember when I was very, very young learning how to do a tally system.
Yeah, yeah. I remember learning the Roman numerals from The Simpsons. There was an episode where Bart was in a thing and he had to recall his knowledge of Roman numerals, otherwise he was going to walk into a door with a lion.
Huh. Okay. Okay, does anyone in the chat know how Valiant 1.B? It's the only thing I've ever asked of you, chat. We weren't paying attention because you distracted us talking about Latin, and we missed how the Valiant won. So, Fusion inted? They just went aggressive and died?
I don't know.
Look, as a teacher, I guarantee you were taught it, but have just forgotten. The number of times kids tell me I didn't cover something that I have video of me going over.
No. I would remember Roman numerals. There's two beings, two species that have historically good memory, and it's elephants and me. I would remember that.
I mean, I may have been taught Roman numerals as a kid at some point, or maybe in a history class at some point, but I don't think we learned all of the Roman numerals. Like, it can't have been more than like 10 minutes in a class one time. We certainly never had like a full class on Roman numerals. That would have struck me as very, very strange as a child. 6-minute time bank for Philly and an EMP with no counter for Rain. This is looking like a stonker of a time bank.
That's yeah.
Lastros used the call. They could just EMP right now.
Oh, this is...
Why did they wait so long?
Aggression from Valiant. I don't know why they waited. Maybe they thought... They must have miscounted the ults.
Yeah, maybe they thought Rain had it.
They thought Rain had Sombra.
Okay, well.
You know, I still don't know the alphabet.
Okay, so now what do? Now the Philadelphia Fusion should be sound barrier engaging in order to try and force it out of Rain, and then they EMP afterwards. So they should lead with the sound barrier here in the fight, I think. Take some space, force a fight. Yeah, they lead with the sound barrier to try and get value out of that. Kill Lastro, try and force it out of Rain. And Rain is just forced to hold onto his sound barrier. Flowchart Overwatch. Flowchart Overwatch, baby. I love seeing this interaction. What are you giggling about?
I'll explain after this.
By the way, I am ignoring everybody in chat that asks for Dono Wall because I feel like that in itself is a very Dono Wall thing to do.
Oh man, this is just...
That's just dominant. That is dominant.
I don't know if you heard me or if you just chose to ignore me when I said, I still don't know my alphabet. The chat just fucking blew up. The chat just blew up.
I was paying attention to the game. It didn't even register in my head that you said it.
And what had me giggling?
Rain holding beat for next round? Yeah, he has to hold the beat.
This comment had me fucking giggling. Was, how do you have work, Bren?
Captain James T. King, thanks for the gifted sub. Hello?
So, I didn't have enough bleach because my hair is... I know.
Wow, you look like you've gone Super Saiyan.
Kinda. Because I have to redo it next weekend.
Okay.
Because my hair was too dark. And
Oh, yeah, you don't have any for the back.
I'm pretty sure L
So
comes after
it's staying like
H,
that for a
right?
week.
yeah, so
Wow, so you're going to look like Goku for a week.
I'm going to look like Guy Fieri for a week.
That's amazing.
So, if you're cool with it,
Oh, that's funny.
'cause I'm orange.
Yeah, your hair is
My
very
hair's
orange.
just too dark to do it all in one go. It started to look. Yeah, if I just don't notice my.
Okay, cool.
Fun fact.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. I think you should spike it up.
My hair is so short, but I have so fucking much of it.
Yeah,
So
your hair's
it's
very
not
thick.
So I have two coming.
Yep.
Krillin and Goku.
Krillin and Goku. What do you mean by Krillin? Oh,
Google
wait.
Krillin after
Oh,
this
Krillin's
game.
the bald one, isn't he? Krillin's the short, bald fuck. Nice. Yeah, we should do a Goku and Krillin cosplay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It looks ridiculous.
It does look a bit ridiculous, but it'll look good in a week.
Much
Cool.
better to do now while I have to go to work
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah. Cool. All right, what is happening on this attack? What have I missed?
You got the D-Mech on Fury. It's overextended. Now they built up an early coalescence because the tank line just takes way too much damage, but they couldn't be punished because Fury
Could
was
still
D-Mech.
be turnable
Somehow
here.
Fury gets back in his mech.
Could still be turnable. EMP used. Misses everyone.
dodged.
Who
It missed everybody.
it was literally a zero-man EMP. Who was it even aimed at? Oh, lordy. Okay, well, it was turnable for a second there, but... I mean, they traded EMPs. It's still not bad. It actually just stops the snowball
Wait,
potential. Wait, this
they're
could...
not winning
No,
this.
they
Oh
are
my
winning this. They are.
God.
They are. Ivy's dead. They can't contest.
Sado building the primal.
KSP only
Oh.
building 20% of his next EMP as well. That's pretty bad considering I think he was alive throughout that entire thing and it was just a cleanup. He should be more at
not
like
his
50%
hero.
like Hisu.
Not his hero.
Yeah, KSP got 3 people with his EMP, but Hisu got a 0-man EMP. I'm not really sure why or how, but yeah, it looked like he was right on top of people, but it somehow missed everyone. That looked like such a good opportunity to Death Blossom while McGrady was hacked, but he didn't go for it. So much patience from Ivy. EMP, Death
No.
Blossom, 10 seconds.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, possibly winnable, but very unlikely. All right, the question really is, are the Valiant good enough with Sombra Reaper and 1 week's practice to beat the Justice? That is an incredibly interesting question.
I don't think so. Personally.
With a
I would
whole week to prep for that match when you know exactly what the Justice are going to be running?
Oh, maybe with a week. You know, because I was thinking, yeah, maybe.
I think they could do it.
Yeah,
I don't know whether they will, but I think it's
could.
possible.
They could. They could, chat. They could.
A lot of people in the chat are saying no. It's the vast majority of the people in my chat are saying no. They're just going to lose. Decay, Stitch, and Tuba will roll them? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I think with a week to prep... they could. Do what the Shock did? I mean, the Shock didn't play Sombra Reaper. The Shock played the Zen Mercy with an Ashe, which the Valiant definitely could do. But the Shock also mirrored the Hog, which I don't think the Valiant could do. So the Valiant could learn some portion of from what Shock did, but they're still going to have to beat Justice with Sombra Reaper at some point on some maps. You can't just play Zen Mercy everywhere.
Tracer Ashe.
See, this is what I thought the Valiant would run with. This is what I wanted them to run this entire match. Although, actually, I wanted them to run... Okay, Ivy on the Tracer. This is interesting, though. I don't think Ivy's good enough at Tracer to be able to hold up against Shax, to be honest. But at least you slow him down a little bit from trying to snack on your backline.
He's ignored him.
Yeah, Philly's just going to run into their backline. They're just going to try and eat Lastro and KSP's ass.
Oh.
Funny
The hack
Astro
on Shaq.
kills Shax. Oh, the hack. Hisu's so good. Hisu's so good. But KSP's also really good. That pick is pretty enormous.
Rain died.
It's still pretty
Tanks
possible
so
here.
low on Valiant.
Yeah, McGravy's going to get
So
demec'd.
low.
Wait, where is McGravy? How has he not been
McGravy's
demec'd?
still alive.
Oh, now he
my-
has. They just waited to demec him.
Yeah.
Hisu kills KSP and demecks McGravy. Ooh.
Fury's so good.
Tracer Sombra is still a very potent comp. Philly are so well-rounded right now. It's honestly a bit wild to me that Ivy is in these lineups, though, instead of Carpe. Because they're playing Reaper and sometimes Tracer, and perhaps against some teams, they might try and run long-range hit scan as well. It is very interesting that Ivy has gotten the nod over Carpe. It's working. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just think it's... Carpe might just be a bit too frag hungry on the Reaper, whereas Ivy's a bit more of a team player, if I had to guess. How do you stop this EMP? I mean, you just have to have KSP and Shax go off.
Shax needs to not get caught by it.
Yeah, absolutely. If Shax gets caught by it, it's game over. Oh, look at that. Just destroyed.
God, I don't even need
Fury is outrageously good.
it. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Well, it was a 3-0.
yeah, just as I predicted, all according to Kakaku.
Yep. Yeah, Valiant got destroyed. That was quick. Yep, that was very quick. That was... I don't think the Valiant should have mirrored, but it was also not as close as I thought it would be. I thought the Valiant would be able to make a game of it, but not a single map was close. I thought they could at least have 1 or 2 close maps, even if they got 3-0. They just got rolled. Fusion looks so good. Fusion look so good. Atlanta versus Shock. All right, I might be smoking Skittles, but I think there is a small amount of upset potential in this. I don't think that it's big, but I think there's a small amount of upset potential for Atlanta over Shock. I think Shock were pretty shaky in the Sombra Reaper comps that they ran. I think they played the Mercy Zen kind of stuff pretty well, but I think Atlanta will be able to play into that pretty favorably.
Shock over Atlanta, you think there's upset potential?
Tiny amounts. Tiny amounts.
Okay.
Like, I think that Shock aren't looking at their best right now. And I don't think Shock even have a great idea of what they want to play, to be honest. Like, Shock started yesterday playing Sombra Reaper, and then they had to make like multiple mid-series adaptations to be able to get through that series. So I don't even know whether they're coming into this game today with a great idea of what they want to run.
Okay. I want to talk about something else.
Yeah. Good night, Mephistopheles.
Ivy and Hisu.
What the fuck is this, by the way? Good job packing 10. We are all loser. Does OG realize that Valiant are still in the competition? Wait.
I don't know.
Yeah, they are. They're still. Yeah, they've just got knocked down to the lower bracket, right? They're still playing against the Justice. So the Valiant are still in this. They could still win against the Justice. I think I would give them like a 40 to 45% chance of beating the Justice, because they have a whole week to prep. And they don't look bad. They're not great, but they're not bad. Okay, sorry, Bren. What did you want to say about them?
I was just gonna say Hisu and Ivy have really impressed. I think towards the end of this season, like Ivy, I considered to be an all-aim, no-brain player, but he's gotten pretty good, honestly.
He really has, yeah. That was I remember that was the coach's assessment of Ivy in Toronto Defiant, that he was all aim, no brain. But this year he's been very smart.
Yep.
He's been very good.
I remember when we've just found out like the rosters being built because we were in the Philly house when we were getting the inside scoop on all the rosters.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the Philly house and hearing Roston say like, yeah, you know, we might have a certain player, and I remember he didn't outright tell us. He was like hinting towards it, and we worked out it was Ivy, and I was thinking, ooh, Ivy, I don't know, but Ivy is really,
he's good.
Really, yeah, he has stepped up.
He looked great in Contenders that season before he joined Owl, and then he was just on a. I mean, the Toronto team was just lost the entire season long. So I'm glad that Ivy's been able to redeem himself. Sorry, I totally forgot that your hair was. It's like
That's the reaction I was hoping for.
it's like very incredibly bright ginger,
Yeah.
but then yellow roots, and so I don't know. It looks there's something very fake about it. I mean, obviously because it's been bleached.
Yeah.
It'll just take me a while to get used to. Sorry.
Come here.
Huh?
Come here.
Okay. I must leave.
You're left with me now, stream. Whether you like it or not, I have power over all 1,082 of you. All right, give me some hot takes, and I'll give him a judge. I'll give him a judge, eh? We love you. Thanks. I love all of you guys as well. You need to learn. You need to learn to first trap from Poco. Why?
I just went outside. Have you been outside today, Bren?
Yes, I was in the gym working out in that weather.
It's gross. You were working out in that weather.
Yeah, I'm drained. My brain doesn't work right now.
It's disgusting.
I mean, that is Death Valley temperatures. It's 44 Celsius, which is 111 Fahrenheit to any of you Americanos.
Yep,
in the chat.
That's gross. Blech.
Yeah. So I was working out.
Oh wait, what's Funny Astro saying?
Dirty back there. So I'm actually curious. In the past, the Philadelphia Fusion
What is Funny Astro saying?
You guys seem to have shaken that off a little bit in the last few months. You guys seem to be dominant every time you show up to a match. You're not playing down to your teammates. Is that something that you've made an active decision, or are you guys just taking charge?
Yeah, I think we just decided to stop losing.
We just decided to stop losing. Yeah, fair enough. Philly must be so hungry for this win. You know, after finishing second in so many tournaments.
This is a kind of hunger that I think the Shock had last year.
Yeah.
No, I think we're confident against absolutely everyone. I don't think any team can stop us really, and there's only one more match for us next week against maybe Shock or Atlanta, and I don't think either of those teams.
So wait, are the Philadelphia Fusion now in the North America Finals, the upper bracket finals?
Yeah,
that's huge from them. The Roadhog Zarya.
Would be so sick if
what does
Philly won.
whoa. Washington Justice are really good at that composition. Hard to tell if the comp is good or just the Justice are good at it.
You're doing live translation English into American.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. I am really sad that we probably won't see Fusion play against Justice at any point. I mean, it's probably going to be... I mean, it's possible if